this job offer come about?
Um, it was the application process. I went up a couple weeks, um, 2 weeks ago. I had a first interview after they called me and asked if I would be interested in interviewing for the job. I went up to South Garner and had an interview with Coach Young, who's the athletic director. Halfway through that interview, he kind of told me that he was looking for a couple finalists, and he would like for me to come back and interview for a second time, which I did. What is it now? 2 weeks ago, Thursday. And then, he gave me a phone call Friday, extending the offer to me to come and be the first basketball coach in South Garner history. And, I talked to him at that point in time and kind of said, there's some things I need to think about. And, over the weekend, I kind of came to the decision and weighed out the options of staying here and going back home to Garner and becoming a basketball coach there. So it just, the opportunity to go home and to be within 10 minutes of my parents and, 15 minutes of my sister, just that opportunity was too much for me to pass up on.
Understandable. So your family and everything is actually originally from Garner.
Yeah, I'm from Garner. The funny thing about South Garner High School is if I were to go to school at the same address that I went to school when I was 18 years old, I would be at South Garner High School. So my parents' house is actually in their school district. But yeah, my mom was a teacher in Garner for 20 years, and my dad worked at the News Observer on a sports writer for 20 years. So they're still in Garner. They actually live right outside, but very plugged into the Garner community.
All right. So was there any thought of going there just for a basketball standpoint, or was it all purely just family?
I mean, you always have to weigh the options. The basketball, Garner basketball has had a very long-standing tradition. Now, this is going to be the first time that the community has had two high schools. It's always fed into one, so the talent pool is going to be split a little bit. Like I said, this is a brand-new school. They're only going to have freshmen and sophomores. So the basketball opportunity was one very similar to how I arrived at Greene Central as far as being able to build a program. This one's going to be a little bit different because it's going to be from scratch. I mean, there's no equipment, there's no uniforms, there's no practice jerseys, there's no anything like that. So I actually get, to build it the way I want it from the ground up. And it's my program. I'll be the first head coach in school history. And, I saw that as a challenge as far as basketball goes and something I was looking forward to.
How, can you put into words what it would be like trying to tell your guys, that you are leaving, or how was it telling the guys that you were leaving?
It was tough, and you guys know how emotional I am. I don't, shy away from showing emotion to my players. So, there were tears streaming down my face when I told them. I brought them all into the gym. And I told them that I wouldn't be here next year, and that, I hope they understood that this was, a personal move and a professional move to better myself at the same time. And, I assured them it was nothing they did. They didn't make me want to leave or anything like that. That, one of the things I preached to them since I got here was the importance of family, and that's kind of the move it was. It was based on family and an opportunity that I just couldn't pass up on.
I know you like to talk a lot about your players, but, what do you feel is your personal legacy that you leave Greene Central with?
I wouldn't call it a legacy. We just took a program and built. I had great assistant coaches, Coach Johnson and Coach Shock, and the people that I've had help me out here, and the building of just the relationships between the teachers, the staff, and the community. They were just so supportive. The overall goal was to leave it in a better situation than when I got here. And, if there were any doubt about that, I don't know if this decision would have been made the way it was, but I do feel like the program's in a better place than it was. And these guys are going to continue continue to push this program to new heights and keep it going with whomever may be the next head coach. I think there's a work ethic that's installed that hopefully doesn't go anywhere.
Coach, what would you say to someone if they were to call you and ask you about the job?
What do you mean? Like, what kind of job are we talking here?
Yeah, the basketball position there.
I mean, it all depends on the kind of. This was a special situation. It wasn't just going to be any job. I wasn't, actively searching to leave Greene Central. It was just an opportunity that I was aware of in my hometown to go back and become a basketball coach. I mean, part of the reason why I came to East Carolina was to get away from, my mom was an educator and had been an educator for a long time, and in Garner I was always known as, her son, Rosemary Harris's son, and I wanted to kind of make my own name for myself in my educational career, and that's kind of why I've stayed here and around here, and I kind of feel like that I've done that now and made my own name for myself, and I wanted to be able to apply for a job or get a job and get that job based on who I am, not who I know, and my resume, and not, a favor or a friend for somebody else. And, that's kind of where I feel like I'm at in my career. I mean, I'm fairly young still as a coach, and I still have a lot left to prove. So it wasn't me actively searching. And if somebody would have called me on a job, it would have had to have been a perfect storm situation, and that's what this one was.
So what would you say, if you were trying to sell the Greene Central Rams head coaching job, what would you say would be the best selling points?
You don't have to sell this. All somebody needs to do is walk in a gym or look up highlights or sit down with some of these kids and talk. I mean, great kids, great people, great atmosphere. A program I hope is going to continue to stay on the rise. You got kids that are willing to work hard for you. You're going to have some days where you get a little frustrated, but, in the end, you got kids that truly care about you. And I don't think you can put one thing that sells Greene Central as being an option for a place for somebody to come.
Is there anything I missed that you want to say?
No, just, I want to make sure that I thank the community and the people and everybody that believed in me to start with.
Gotcha. I appreciate it, Coach.